Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now, today we're back on the Scottish series, and if anybody's been watching the Scottish series, you have known that there's been a lot of misses and not many hits. But today we're back on Belhaven, and we're doing a black Scottish stout, and apparently it's smooth, deep, distinctive. So even from the front label, we're getting the bullshit. The BS is alive and well. So yes, there we go. We're doing Belhaven Black. There we go. You can't say there's no diversity in this channel. Of beers, that is, anyway. I'm sure probably people are still probably saying that, from the presenter side, it's too white. Very white from that point of view. And that was a little dig at the coronation, where basically somebody in the BBC had turned around and said that this loved the diversity at the cathedral and everything else, and then basically when they went on to the kind of the balcony, the royal family was just very white. I don't know what they expected from a white family, you know. My goodness, white people, from a white family. Jeez, seriously, what the hell is the world coming to when that's supposed to be an issue or a problem? Check to make sure this is on, because the light goes on there sometimes, but I think it's connected because I've got the mic has also got a sender, and this is the receiver on the camera, and this can be lighting up and saying it's solid, and it means there's a connection between the two, and then find out you've got no bloody audio and you made an arse of it. But yes, Belhaven Black Scottish Stout. They're saying smooth, deep and distinctive, or just smooth, deep, distinctive. They don't even use any kind of punctuation or anything like that. And it's 4.2%, 500ml, roughly about £2 a bottle. And there's a bit of spill at the back. Belhaven Black is brewed using fresh water drawn from our own source together with Belhaven's unique yeast, local barley, gently roasted, imparts local barley. Jesus, why do they not use punctuation, for fuck's sake? Seriously. So it's local barley, gently roasted, imparts a subtle smoky aroma with a hint. What? With a hint, sweetness, and a rich dark. Oh yeah, just the word off. It's used too often, isn't it? Just get it to fuck, isn't it? We don't need that. So you're going from basically subtle smoky aroma with a hint, sweetness, and a rich dark finish, bursting with true Scottish character. Aye, and fucking, how would you say, grasp of English as well, by the looks of it. Seriously, God. See, you read these labels, you think, well, no, you want to actually add a bit of punctuation and, some commas, that type of stuff, maybe an of now and again, just to kind of, a hint of sweetness rather than hint sweetness. Oh, seriously, I mean, look at that. Just, if you get the chance, zoom in on that bollocks. Embarrassing. Half-arsed, so it is. I mean, I'm a stickler. If you're going to do it properly. If you're not going to do it, fuck off and don't. I mean, just don't put anything in the back label if you can't be bothered to add punctuation and actually use proper English. God, seriously. That's a good start, that is. I just hate people that just can't be bothered. If you're going to do it, just do it properly. If you can't be bothered doing it properly, just don't do it at all then. And then we're all happy. It's just nonsense. And anyway, don't get me started. I'll just kick off and have a rant and rave. And I'm supposed to be reviewing beer. I'm not supposed to be basically calling out Scots, and they're basically the lacking in their grasp of English and basic grammar and punctuation. But anyway, let's crack it open. A stackable there, because this is what you would be getting in Scotland. Good stackable. Oh, lively bugger, isn't it? Got a whiff of cabbage there, just a wee whiff of cabbage. But I'm not getting it from the bottle now. Now, I'm doing this at room temperature to try and give it a bit more body. So I haven't chilled this at all, so this is more kind of like cask kind of temperatures. And I'm getting kind of sweeter, kind of dark roasted malt. And that's it. I'm just getting a slight sweetness and dark roasted malts, nothing else. Maybe a hint of grain, but really not much. And of course, it's a nice kind of, well, I would probably say at the time when it was poured, one finger, kind of tan coloured head. It's not completely black. It's a kind of slightly kind of dark ruby kind of colour. You can see it in the light, yes, and it is clear from that point of view. And if you hold it up to the light, as I'm doing just now, yeah, it's fairly clear, and it is very, very dark kind of ruby, but it's not black in any way, shape or form. So, let's see what it tastes like. I'm starting to wonder, do Scottish people actually like the flavour of beer? I mean, if this is made, you know, for the Scottish market, which I presume it is it made, is it this because the Scottish don't like the flavour of beer anymore? Do they not like the kind of traditional flavours? They want everything kind of damped down, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a watered down stout. It's, God, it is, it's just, there's just no body to it. It's watery. The flavours are a lot lighter than they really should be. You get little hints of chocolate in the aftertaste, and I'm talking about very delicate hints, whereas it should be like a lot stronger. So it's saying a smoky aroma, more of an earthy aroma than really smoky, slightly earthy, definitely not smoky. A rich dark finish. No, I'd say weak as water kind of finish. Oh, balls, here we go again. I mean, it's just nowhere near what they're describing on the label. I mean, let's be totally honest, if I poured that and put it in a row of glasses as a stout taste off, people would say, is that a stout? That looks like a ruby. And it is, it's more like a ruby than a stout. It's nowhere near has the flavour profiles of a stout. First of all, it's overly carbonated. It's supposed to be for a stout. No. Way too much carbonation for a start. So there's a problem, because the mouthfeel just does not feel, you mean you're drinking it, mouthfeel straight away tells you that ain't a stout, it's got far too much carbonation. Should be a heck of a lot lower. It should be more of a sparkle rather than a carbonation. No. Front of the mouth, I'm getting a bit of malt, a sweetness, underlying sweetness, a little bit of grain. Maybe right at the mid tongue, the maltiness is really kind of buggering off. The grain is slightly lingering, the sweetness has died down, and you're getting this kind of earthy tones. So you're just getting this kind of slightly kind of earthy feel to it, and accents of kind kind of soily, kind of, how would you say, damp wood kind of scenario, wet wood, that it feels like. And then you move on to the after, and everything just dissipates really, really kind of dissipates. Really, everything just dissipates, and it's just no, 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 not good. Not good at all from that point of view. And yeah, not nice at all from that point of view. Just rich finish, very watery and bland finish. You might get little accents of kind of maybe kind of slight bitterness that could be associated with kind of dark chocolate, but no, seriously, it's just dire. It really is dire. Yeah, yeah, not good. Really not good. It really is lacking. It's no, another overhyped. It's just, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, if you look at it, if I try and bring some light in here, and maybe try and show you. I mean, maybe you could see how it's just like a kind of amber ale, really. It's nothing. It looks watery for a stout. It tastes watery for a stout. In fact, it doesn't taste like a stout at all, to be totally honest. Far too watery. Accent flavours are way too subtle. It's just like it feels like a half-assed attempt. In fact, it actually feels like a really bad homebrew attempt of a stout. And then when we take it as a ruby ale, it's kind of lacking, and it has this horrible kind of earthiness in the mid-tongue that just makes it a bit unpleasant. Oh, God. What would I give this out of 10? Well, charged me about £2 a bottle for this, and I'm saying it's way too much. I mean, that's just dreadful. Who the hell would buy that piss? Maybe people in Scotland are buying that piss, and maybe that's what they like, maybe that's what they're into. Which is sad, but maybe that's it. Maybe it's a case as though I'm reviewing it too much from a kind of English bent rather than a Scottish bent. So maybe from a Scottish point of view, this is fabulous. Cock a hoop. We should be over the moon with this. Oh, yes. Oh. But from a, if I compare it from a more British bent of looking at it compared with English stouts and Irish stouts and everything, I mean, Jesus, this makes Guinness look flavoursome. And that's weak as water. But at least it actually has some body and some flavour to it. This is just... anyway, it's not worth the energy. It really isn't worth the energy. So, yeah. Out of 10... 1. I'm going to give it 1. It's just dreadful. Absolutely bloody dreadful. And I'm only giving it 1 just because it exists. That's the only reason it gets 1. It gets absolutely nothing from the point of flavour, nothing on the point of drinkability or experience. Just, you know, I mean, it provides nothing. It gets 1 point because it exists, and that's it. It doesn't bring anything else to the party apart from it actually as an item that you can actually physically see and touch. But hopefully not with your mouth, because it's just crap. So yeah, 1 out of 10. Why did I start this Scottish series? Because all I've done is just basically set myself up for a tremendous fall, and it just seems to be... I've still got quite a few to review over this series, But it just seems to be, I just pick myself up and then fall over again every time I crack open a bottle. Just sad, very sad. But anyway, it's a 1 out of 10. It's a stout, but it's not a stout. Would I recommend it? Definitely not. Avoid it. Seriously. Go and buy yourself a Guinness. Guinness is far better than this. And I'm not a big fan of Guinness because I just feel that it's just lacking in flavour. But it's got a heck of a lot more flavour than this. So my view is go and buy yourself a Guinness and enjoy it. From that point of view. And this is at room temperature, so you can't say I've over chilled it and everything else. This is at room temperature. There's no chill on the bottle at all, and it's watery and flavourless basically. So you can't say I've chilled the arse out of it. I've given it every bloody chance possible, and it's failed on every single level. Every single level. And if the brewery wanted to achieve that, then well done. But if you honestly believe that's a good stout, then you must be off your fucking head. You really must be. Go and take yourself outside and just basically make the world a better place. Because seriously, that is just utter guff. Really is utter guff. Who the hell released that and thought, well, there you go. That's the best we can do, isn't it? Head brewer, I'm an either. The dog's bollocks. No. All you're just doing is showing the world how much of an arsehole you really are. Because that's just, you've got a cheat to even call it a stout. An absolute cheat. Really. Seriously. And you can't say, oh, well, it's a traditional Scottish stout. No, you know, so you can't go down that fucking route either. Because it's just not. It's just dreadful. No wonder I swear. A lot of times I start these videos thinking, I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to swear. Then I taste the beer and I think, oh, bollocks. I'm going to be ranting and raving. I'm going to be effing and jeffing by the end of this. You just know, I just taste it, you're thinking, you shower of shit, you've done it to us again. And that's what it's like. You feel as a case as you just get done over. You've spent £2 on piss. And you're going to get sick of it. And I'm sure plenty of people are getting sick of it because things are tight and things are getting hard for people. I mean, you basically, why would you want to try something new? This is the big problem. You wouldn't want to try something new because 9 times out of 10 you're going to end up pissing your money up against the wall. And that's what it feels like. I've just pissed £2 up against the wall buying that shit. And the rest of this is going to go down the sink. So how's that value for money? At Belhaven and Green King and all that. How's that value for money? There you go. You made a beer so undrinkable that half of it's going to go down the sink. And the only reason I drank half of it, let's be totally honest, if I was basically not doing this review, I would have taken one sip and the rest of it would have went down the sink. You know what I mean? Get a grip of yourselves, for fuck's sake. Absolute ridiculous, seriously. Belhaven, you're a fucking disgrace. An absolute fucking disgrace. Get a hold of yourself. Producing that piss water and get the cheek to call it a stout. And then talk about richness of finish and what the fuck are you talking about? You must be fucking mad in the head. You really must be. Because all you're doing is conning and lying to people. So stop it. Stop ripping people off. Seriously. Fucking assholes. Anyway, 1 out of 10. If you don't like the swearing, I'm not going to apologise because they deserve it. They deserve every bad word I'm saying against them. Belhaven, you bunch of cheating bastards. That's what yous are. 1 out of 10. Don't bother. Don't go near it. And if Belhaven thinks this is acceptable, don't bother buying their beer. Stay away from them. Stay clear. Absolutely dreadful. 1 out of 10. 500ml bottle. 4.2%. Absolutely no flavour really whatsoever. Definitely not a stout. Don't bother buying it. Tell them to shove up their arse. Thanks for watching. Cheers.